friends, Miss Jules here. Welcome back to Self Care Saturdays. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about how to make a self care plan. So, I have some stuff I want to show you on the screen. These are all actually worksheets and posters that you should have in your first activity kit. So, if you don't have that yet, don't worry because you can still totally make this self care plan. Those are just good examples and good writing prompts to get you thinking. So, we'll talk a little bit about self care plans for your families, for you as parents and guardians and adults, as well as for the kiddos. So, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with everyone. But before I do that, let's just talk a little bit about what self care is. So I know we talked a bit in the intro video, but basically, what self care is just trying your best to take care of yourself. And that is more than just making sure you are eating enough and drinking water and getting good sleep. Those are all super, super important. Those are necessary for us to keep living and being as healthy and able to do everyday things as possible. So, but self care goes a little bit beyond that. It's about trying to make time, even if it's just 10 minutes a week, doing something that benefits you and makes you feel good emotionally, mentally, physically, um, spiritually, any way in which it helps you relax or feel more calm or feel less stressed, happier, joyful, something that makes you feel creative and excited about your day. So, with that being said, let me show you this first self-care plan. So, this is a little poster I want to show you all. I'm going to try to zoom in as close as possible, and I'm hoping you'll be able to see this. So this is a really cool little checklist that our friend Miss Daisy came up with and sent my way. It's called Self-Care for Families, and it just gives you a bunch of suggestions on different ways you can do self-care with your families. So we have emotional, that could be watching a good movie, writing each other positive notes, verbalizing and talking about our feelings, drawing self portraits, saying I love you, spending time writing, have a sing along, tell jokes, try a new craft. These are all great suggestions for how we can take care of our emotional well being and how we can do those with our families. Because I know it's really hard to make time for these kinds of things. We're all really busy. We have a lot going on in our worlds right now. But doing these kind of things together with your family allows you all to sort of do that self-care together instead of everyone needing time to do it on their own. It's a great way. Even if it's watching like one movie a week or even, two movies a month, it's a great way to spend time together and do something that lets you relax and enjoy that together. Next, we have physical. So to take care of yourself physically, there's a lot of different things you can do. This poster suggests with your family, you could have a dance party, which you could pull up music on your phone, on your computer, and spend 20 minutes just being silly, dancing, having fun, going for a walk or a family bike ride, taking a hike, playing kickball or tag, roller skating, going to the pool. Now, some of these are going to be tricky right now. Not everything is open, and not everyone has roller skates. I don't have roller skates. Jump roping, kids yoga, Wii Fit games. One thing I like to do is go to YouTube because it's like a free resource of yoga videos for kids or funny dances you can learn with your families. Going for a walk is always really nice. That helps me a lot. take a break and relax a little bit, especially right now when it's so beautiful. It's a little bit cold, but it's still pretty sunny outside, and all the leaves are changing. So that's, I think that's a really fun way to do it. Um, Spiritual, how we take care of ourselves spiritually. You can write a gratitude list, write things or people or experiences you're grateful for. Go outside and connect with nature. You can talk about forgiveness with your family and what does that mean. That's something that I think comes up a lot, when we have our siblings, our brothers and our sisters taking our toys or doing things that are hard to deal with, and learning about forgiveness is important. Writing thank you notes is always fun. You can do that with your family. You can do that to other people in your lives outside of your family. Volunteering, spending time outside or with nature, practicing positive self-talk, which this one is really, really important and can be really like life changing. It's really easy to get stuck in being really hard on ourselves and not always reminding ourselves of how much love and care and positivity we deserve. So that's a really important one. Moving on, mental self-care. This could be reading together as a family. You could listen to one of our story time Sundays together. Draw or write stories. Kids meditation. Again, you can find those on YouTube, which is great. Finding shapes in clouds. Practicing belly breaths. Go on a walk to find new things. Make vision boards. Vision board is kind of, for anybody who doesn't know, because I just learned about this. It's a board you make and you put things on it that inspire you to reach certain goals or things you want to be thinking about for the future that you envision in the future. It could have something to do with your job. It could be your family. It could be a vacation you want to take. It could be something really special you want to do with your family, or it could be something you want to do for yourself creatively. Maybe you want to write a book someday. So making a visual representation with pictures, words, anything that inspires you to think about that. Try Headspace for Kids, which is an app I will tell you about. Create mandalas. They are these really cool patterns that you can make. You can both draw them as well as make them in nature. That's another thing that I will make a self-care video on for you all. Make mindfulness jars, play mind strength, and games like memory. The next category we have is practical. So how we can take care of ourselves practically. This can include cleaning up, decluttering old toys, assign chores. You could try to come up with a fun way for your kids to check off their chores during the day or during the week. Make a grocery list together. Maybe you can all come up with a new recipe you'd like to try and add new things to your grocery list for that. Learn about money, make a weekly budget check-in. We have some really cool workshops for families here at MFS, and all about doing budgeting and learning about how to manage your money. So those are super helpful. Make a weekly cleaning check-in, homework and study, have a morning and night routine. Sometimes the practical self-care, for me at least, is the hardest one because some of those things feel like chores, like they're not as much fun as coloring or reading or going for a walk. But I find that when I try to make a little bit of time each day or each week to do one or two of those things, it helps my mind feel better, it helps my body feel better. So it's really important, even though it's not always as much fun when I'm doing it. And then the last category we have on here for self-care for families is social. So this is about connecting with our friends, our family, our communities. They suggest playing in the park, calling or visiting relatives, having family dinner, playing board games, host a sleepover, invite friends over, plan a barbecue, join a team, do a neighborhood food drive, have talks about friendship and how to be a friend. I know the social one is a little bit tricky with COVID and everyone trying to stay safe and healthy, but one way you can do that is connect online, or on FaceTime or call people, or even if you can do it safely with masks and social distancing, um, seeing people from a little bit far away. So one example is I have some friends that I like to catch up with in their garden, and so we can all be very far apart and safe, but we can also see each other in person. And that's one way I try to take care of myself socially. So that was a ton of information, but that checklist, which you can add your own things, you can change it, you can try some of those suggestions. It's going to be in your first kit. So don't forget that. And then I want to show you real quick before I go on. I just wanted to show you my example, which I think is going to be pretty tricky to see on the computer, but it says Miss Jules self-care plan. And I've written out things that I like to do for my emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, practical, and social self-care routines. So what I did for my plan was I broke it into those 6 categories. Another way you can write your own self-care plan is instead of writing it in emotional, physical, spiritual, you can write lists or check marks of self-care I can do in 5 minutes, in 15 minutes, in an hour. And for people who are really busy, that's a good way to write your plan so that you can, when you do have an hour extra in your week or 10 minutes extra in your week, you can look at your self-care plan and think, okay, what ideas did I write down that I can do to take care of myself that only take 10 minutes? So that's another good way to do it, especially if you have a hard time making time to take care of yourself and do those things. So that was mine. Actually, I'll give you a couple examples. So I'll give you maybe one of each. One way I like to try to practice self-care emotionally is to watch a good movie, like they suggested. I sometimes like to watch movies that make me cry, which sounds kind of sad, but it's nice to watch something that you sort of just get to relax and let your emotions do whatever they will. A physical way I like to take care of myself is to go for a walk. I love walks. I live pretty close to Forest Park, which is a big park in Portland, and it has really beautiful trails to walk on, and it's only about a 10-minute drive. Where if I don't have time, I like to walk around my neighborhood. I love looking out for decorations at this time of year, Halloween decorations, and pretty soon Christmas lights. That's one thing that I do that brings me both relaxation and joy. A spiritual way I take care of myself is I actually learned this from a friend, and that is to write down 3 things I'm grateful for. And I try to do that most days. I should keep trying to do it every day because it does make me feel really good and it reminds me of the things that I'm thankful for. A mental way that I take care of myself is I love to do puzzles. So sometimes I like to plug in my headphones and just settle into a puzzle, clear off a table, and I'll work on that for, if I have a lot of time, a good part of my day, or sometimes I'll work on it a little bit every day for a week. A practical way I take care of myself, and this one has taken me a long time to get right, but I make my bed every morning, which I used to never make my bed because I would be really tired in the morning. I'd roll out of bed and go make coffee and start my day. But ever since I started making my bed every morning, it's a great way to just start the day. Had a small accomplishment and I'm ready to get going. And lastly, one way I take care of myself socially is that I like to call or FaceTime a friend at least once a week. All of my close friends live really far away, a couple in California and one all the way in New Zealand. And so, even if it wasn't COVID times, I would still not see them in person, except for a couple times a year. I like to FaceTime them, see their faces, catch up. I feel like I can catch up better on FaceTime or when I call them than when I text them. So that also brings me a lot of joy, helps me feel good. So that was my self-care plan. I'd love for you all to write yours. However you want to do it, you can do it like this. You can do it any way you want. You could post it up on your fridge. You could keep it to yourself in a journal. Whatever helps you and makes you excited to follow it or try to follow it. It's not perfect. You don't have to do every single one of these every day, and none of us have time for that. But just finding a few ways a week or a few times a week that you can do one of these things or one of your own ideas to take care of yourself can be super helpful. I also, in your kits, have given you a paper that looks like this, where I just ask you a couple questions about self care, and the last question asks you what the Sun team can talk about and teach and show during these Self-Care Saturday videos. If you want to comment below this video and tell us your answer to that question, we would love to hear your feedback and love to know what is helpful for you and what you would like to see us do for sure. So those two are great worksheets and little posters and papers to fill out for you parents. And for your kiddos, we have a slightly more simple self-care plan here. It breaks it up into mind, body, spirit, and heart. There's some great ideas like be creative, draw, eat healthy, deep breathing, cuddle with your pet, spend time with your family, dance, meditate, sing. So one really cool thing is you can help your kids come up with their own self-care plan, and you could break it up like this mind, body, spirit, heart, or however works for your family and your kids. There's also some questions below. You might try asking your kids or letting them answer. It just is a few questions asking them to think about what it feels like when they do these kinds of things, and what ideas they might come up with that help them relax or feel good or have fun. So this will also be in the kit for you all. Again, I'd love to see you comment below with things that your kids say or even pictures of your self-care plans, your kids' self-care plans. I would love to hear and see that, and to see what the Hollydale friends and families are doing for their self-care. And then lastly, you will also find this in your kits. It's just called Solo Stress Relievers. It's just a few more cool ideas. It's pretty simple, has some pictures as well for both you and your families and your kids. There's some really cool ideas like try a new recipe. These are supposed to be things you can do by yourself, which is great. But you can also implement these into doing with your family or with friends. So all four of those printouts are going to be, I'm going to stop sharing so I'm back on the big screen with you. All those four worksheets and posters are going to be in your kits for you to reference, fill out, make your own self-care plans. You can sit down and do them together with your kids, or you can do them by yourself. We are going to keep giving you more ideas. We have some cool nature-themed videos coming up, as well as making homemade face masks, new recipes. So Miss Daisy and I are both doing videos and doing some cool stuff for Self-Care Saturdays. We really hope you all are enjoying it so far. and your kits and everything in them. So, last thing before I go is I just want to say don't forget to comment below. You can tell me what you think of the video or let me know what your self care plans look like, as well as any suggestions you have for me. I love hearing other people's ideas for how they practice self care. And if you comment, it lets us at the Sun program know exactly who's seeing our videos and how we can keep going and do more and keep getting better and send more stuff for all of you to have online. If you do comment below, you're going to be entered to win a prize. And there's some really cool ones for sure. I'm jealous I can't enter. So go ahead, hit the comment button, share with me anything you'd like to. And then if you want to hit the subscribe button as well, you'll be subscribed to our Sun YouTube channel where you can find art videos, travel videos, experiments, storytime Sundays, all those fun videos that we put out each day, every week. So, hope you enjoyed this Self Care Saturday, and I will see you all next time. Bye.